It's time for Recipe of the Day. On this beautiful summery long weekend, I could not resist sharing my recipe for grilled chicken wings. Now, I'm going to start by saying that usually I do chicken wings in the oven. My baked chicken wing recipe is unbelievable. That's one with the baking powder, a little bit of baking powder. It changes the pH of the skin and it works really, really well. That is my favorite way to do chicken wings, and I will put that link in the show notes for sure. But if I'm cooking in the summer, sometimes I don't want to use the oven. Sometimes I'm having a gang over in the backyard, and so I want to be cooking in the backyard. When that's happening, then I grill the chicken wings. I will say they do not end up with the crispy skin that you get from baking or deep frying, but they do have it's like a nice skin. It's not like too rubbery. I have seen recipes where they have you cook them at a higher temperature on the grill for longer than what I'm going to tell you to do, and they claim to get crispy skin, but when I've tried it, I end up burning them in places, and I just don't like that burnt flavor. A little bit of char is good, but to get them crispy enough for me, I end up going too far and they end up burning. So I don't recommend trying to do that necessarily. This way they end up delicious. It's just not going to be that same crispiness that you get at a sports bar or from doing the baking powder in the oven, like I was saying. Okay, you're going to start by getting your grill ready for direct grilling over medium heat, which is about 350 degrees Fahrenheit if you have a thermometer on your grill. If not, you can test this for yourself, and it's actually a good idea to do it every now and then and make sure that the thermometer in your grill is actually working properly. Anyhow, what you're going to do is you're going to hold your palms about 3 inches above the grill where the food will be cooking, or over the coals or whatever it is, and then you're going to count 1,000, 2, 1,000. You're trying to do seconds, and you hold them there until you can't stand it anymore and you need to pull your hands away, and the number corresponds to the temperature. So we want 350, maybe 400 degrees Fahrenheit, like a medium hot grill. That's going to be 4 to 5 seconds that you can hold your hands there before you need to pull them back. Okay, now I will assume that your wings are already cut into wing pieces. If not, I'm going to link to how to cut chicken wings, because they usually come the big full ones that are both drumette and flap attached to them, and you can cut those, and it's really easy to do. You just need a really sharp knife. So you're going to have about 20 wing pieces cut from 10 whole chicken wings. Now you can season them with salt and pepper if you'd like to. I don't have that in the recipe because sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. It really doesn't matter that much because the barbecue sauce or whatever buffalo sauce that you're going to be using is going to have a lot of flavor. So I don't necessarily do it, but sometimes I just do because I'm used to seasoning my raw chicken before I cook it. So either way is fine. And then you're putting those wings in a single layer on your preheated grill right over the direct heat. And make sure you have a good pair of barbecue tongs because you're going to be doing some flipping here and there. So you're going to start by closing the lid and leaving them there for a few minutes. Then you're going to check. Now, some spots will start to get darker than others due to hot spots on the grill. Some are starting to char too much. At that point, you flip those over. And then you just keep flipping as they darken every couple minutes. Check under each one. And then as you're flipping, they're going to get darker and darker. If some start to get too dark before the others, you want to shift those over to a cooler part of the grill. Now, where is a cooler part of the grill? The places where the wings are not cooking as quickly, right? So you kind of swap those places around. Now you're just going to keep doing that, leaving them for a couple minutes and then moving them around, flipping them over for about 18 minutes total. And then you're going to check the temperature inside a couple of them using an instant read thermometer, or you can break them open and have a look and make sure they're not pink inside. They might need a little bit longer. Of course, when we're doing the grill, we're not as precise as the oven often, and we don't know for sure. It could be another 5 or 6 minutes after that 18. So you just want to make sure that they're nice and safe. Then once you're sure that they're done, you use those tongs to transfer them to a nice big bowl. You want a bowl that's bigger than you think you need because you're going to be tossing things around in there. And then you add your sauce. It's about a half cup for this amount of wings. Barbecue sauce, buffalo sauce. You could do a syrupy kind of teriyaki sauce, honey mustard. Any of those are great. Half a cup of that goes in the bowl, and then give it a nice toss until they're all coated, and then serve them with a big stack of napkins. Okay, I will put a link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date. So it's helpful to know that today is July 6th of 2025. I know you're going to love this one. And when you do, I would love it if you would give it a 5-star rating and a comment. 5-star ratings really help my business grow, and those comments make my day. I love seeing what you guys are making and loving. So let me know. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a wonderful day. Let's get cooking.